Posters are up once again for the Dauntless Amphora, a yearly event held within the local Coliseum. Those who can make it out alive are promised wealth, magical items, and a title. And that's it. That's all I'm going to be telling my players, and that this is a 6th level one-shot. Hi, I'm the Floral DM, and today I want to show you a one-shot I've been creating. I think that this is an excellent way for beginner DMs to get started. There's not a lot to keep track of, and while it is a straightforward story, I don't feel like it ever makes the players feel decisionless or like they don't have a choice. When I'm creating a one-shot, I need to know a few things. What is the general theme? Who am I making this for? And how long do I want this story to go on for? As for theme and event for this one-shot, it's a Theros-influenced escape room. It all takes place within a Coliseum, where a magical amphora holds limitless rooms and trials. Now, as for who this is meant for, I just have to think of my own players. I have 2 players who are really combat-oriented people. They thrive on that, and that's everything on their character sheet, and that's what they want to see more of. I have 1 person who gets extremely bored of combat quickly, and then I have a few other people who are just about up for anything. So I have to make sure that I have enough rooms to swap in for each player. If there's too much action, if there's not enough action, if there's been too many puzzles, if there's been not enough puzzles, I want to have enough rooms so I can tailor it to all of them. As for session length, this is a one-shot, so I want it to be all contained within one session, but I'm going to have a little cliffhanger at the end, just in case people want this to extend into multiple sessions, or if they're really happy with what happened, we can have this be one contained one-shot. Now that we have most of the required information about what we'll need, it's time to go over a rough outline of this one-shot. Now, I've created just about everything you need, and I've put them in the description below. The first is going to be a rough overview of the entire story for you to have during the actual session. And the second is all of the rooms that are actually going to be inside this amphora. I really suggest looking over all the information before, but still print out this to have during the session. As for the rooms, I really recommend having each one of them on a note card. That way you can make your own map as the party makes decisions on which room to go, and then even encourage them to make their own map to see what they've come up with. The story is extremely simple, and I've already actually told you most of it. There's an event going on within the local Coliseum of the town that the party just happens to find themselves within. They make their way to the Coliseum, they talk to the game master, they're going to go over all the rules of the game, and then the party is then swept towards the amphora with anyone else who's possibly going through the trial. They're all magically put into the amphora, and then it's just room to room. You start off in the starting room, and then each time the players are given 2 decisions on what room to do next. This is where the note cards come in, and you can slowly build off from that, know which ones they've gone to and which 2 are coming up next. Each room is either a fight, a puzzle, or a mystery, and that all depends on which one you put in front of them, and out of the 2, which one they pick. Nevertheless, they're going to end up in the Razor Fields. This is the final fight, there's a bunch of scarecrows and haunted plants, and this is where you have to decide whether the session is going to end or you're going to put the cliffhanger for them to continue on. If it ends here, if you think this was good, if you think all of it got wrapped up nicely, they finish the room, door appears, they pop out of the amphora, they're showered in wealth, they're given magical items, give them a funny title, and it's the end of the session. Or, once the party has finished all the enemies in this final room, a portal appears and actually tears through the fabric of this little pocket dimension, and out stumbles a figure, clutching their arm, they're wounded, they're clearly in dire straits. The figure glances around, spots the party, and then whispers to them to get down, hide, and stay quiet. A moment later, a voice rings out. It's ominous, it's scary, it echoes through the field, and it's in a language that none of the players understand. It's clearly evil, and it's clearly threatening them. The stranger's going to jump up. They're going to create a secondary portal, and then they're going to collapse against a stone fence line just out of sight, just barely hidden. From the nearly faded portal comes a pair of humongous, ghastly white claws that actually wrench the portal back open. And out comes a demon of immense size. It's ghastly and disgusting and horrible, and it's hard to even look at. It's going to take a second, it's going to look around, see if it can find that first stranger. And when it can't, but it sees that secondary portal, it's going to grin, and players are going to see horrible flesh in between the teeth of this monstrosity. It's going to charge forward and it's going to leap through the secondary portal as it closes. After a moment of silence, now that the threat is gone, the players are going to meet up with the stranger and they're going to make their way out of the amphora. Now the town that they knew once before is all but in ruins. Flames are licking up the side of a building, there are bodies everywhere. A few of them are even demon. And that's where I would leave it. If the players want to find out who the stranger is, if they want to find out who the demon was, we can have another session or two. If not, if they're happy that they beat the amphora and that they rescued a stranger, then the session's completely done. And that's the general story of everything. The important thing is for you to look at this and kind of put your own spice into it to really make it your own. Figure out if the cliffhanger works for you. If it doesn't, go through all the rooms, find out which ones work for you. Feel free to add as many or as little as you want. If anything, you can just take all of this, strip out all of my creativity and put in your own and make it your own. I really encourage you. One thing that would really make my day is if you have a good idea for another room or a better cliffhanger or anything, maybe even just an NPC, put that in the comments down below. I want to use it for my campaign or my one-shot, and then anyone else who sees this might be able to use it for theirs. If you found anything at all useful, go ahead and give the video a like. I know you hear it from just about anybody, but it's what really pushes videos forward for more people to see. And if you liked this video, go ahead and subscribe. I want to release at least one of these videos a week, either stories of D&D campaigns I've had, or crazy one-shots, character ideas, more stories, really anything I can come up with that's D&D related. But as always, I've been the Floral DM. Have a good one.